Welcome to episode 2 of my podcast, and I'm with my now new co-host TGM Gabe.
What's up? Despite being me on VR, I'm here to help.
And we're going to talk about the NFL Week 1 that just ended. And let's start the first game of the year, basically, where the Eagles beat the Cowboys 24-20. And if you didn't know, Jalen Carter, who plays defense, I can't remember which position off the top of my head, for the Eagles, got ejected before the first play within the first 6 seconds of the game for spitting on Dak Prescott. What are your thoughts on that?
That's actually crazy. I mean, just before the season, before the first snap, before anything, that Prescott gets disrespected.
And Jalen Carter did eventually apologize after the game to Dak Prescott. And then during the game, it was like 4:44 left in the third quarter. There was a weather delay for an hour and a half, not an hour and a half, an hour and 5 minutes. Then after that delay, there was no points scored the rest of the game. So Eagles take that one. What are your thoughts on the game?
I mean, despite being a close one, despite being a close matchup against the Eagles and the Cowboys, Eagles fought that one all the way through.
Yeah.
Except for the delay. No points were scored.
Yeah. And then let's go to the Friday night game in Brazil. The Kansas City Chiefs lose to the Los Angeles Chargers. Patrick Mahomes lost another wide receiver, Xavier Worthy, who is, I don't know his timetable yet, but he did have a dislocated shoulder by running into Travis Kelce. So Mahomes is now down Rashee Rice, who's suspended the first 6 games of the season, and now Xavier Worthy. What are your thoughts? And can Mahomes bounce back with what he has at receiver?
These wide receivers, they gotta do something. Except for the dude, I hope his back recovers, better. But the other wide receiver, come on, you can't do that. You got a team to hold. You're good to wide receiver 1.
Then, after the game, there was a Chiefs fan that was shot out of a cannon by Mr. Beast.
I don't understand Mr. Beast at all. Despite raising $40 million for Team Waters, now you're having a Chiefs fan get shot out of a cannon after the game. What?
Yeah, I know. And let's go to the Sunday games now. First off, no bias or anything. Let's start with the Steeler game. 34-32. The Steelers beat the Jets. And what a day from Aaron flippin' Percocet Rodgers, who went 22-30, 244 through the air and 4 touchdowns, which is the most touchdowns from any Steelers quarterback in their debut game with the Steelers in team history. What are your thoughts?
Like I said, incredible quarterback, an incredible veteran quarterback in his last season with the Steelers. A lot of quarterbacks like the name Kenny Pickett's, the name, just those bunch of names that are been thrown out on the Steelers. No one has ever done what Aaron Rodgers did that Sunday. And matter of fact, all these games were close games, which this season I think they're going to be really close, despite all the team selections and all that.
And then, what a day from Justin Fields as well. He went 16 of 22, 218 passing yards, and a touchdown. And will Justin Fields, do you think, is the answer for the Jets to make a playoffs?
Hmm. Well, you know, Justin Fields played three different teams in a matter of like three different seasons with the Bears, the Steelers, and then now the Jets.
Which Fields went 4-2, had a great start to the season last season with the Steelers, but then got benched by the now Giants quarterback Russell Wilson.
Mhm. But first, I want to get your opinion on it. Do you think Justin Fields will be the answer for New York?
I mean, he looked good. The Jets offense just looked good against I don't I'm not gonna say really good Steelers defense. The Jets just dominated the Steelers defense. I it's only week one. Give me a couple weeks to see what he does, and then
I mean, yeah, I agree with you. This is just week one of the season. These teams, usually they start good on the season and they weaken. Like, for example, the Steelers back every single year. Let's just hope something changes. You know,
yeah.
give it a couple weeks.
And then a question I have for you now is: can Aaron Rodgers lead the Steelers to the playoffs? Not if not the Super Bowl.
I wouldn't say the Super Bowl, but longer than they're usually every single year. They've been
Will they win a
first
playoff game
round
though?
X's.
Do you think they'll win a
I would
playoff game?
say, yeah, I think they would. Just the defense needs to be a lot more settled for once.
The Steelers defense had 390 allowed 394 yards total yards. They went 50. They allowed Jets that go for 50% on third down conversions, and then they allowed 6.4 yards per play. And then all the momentum was with the Jets until that fumble. Then the Steelers really turned it off with a 60-yard Chris Boswell field goal, which is his career longest field goal. And switching games, let's go to the Indianapolis Colts Miami game where the Colts beat the Miami Dolphins 33-8. What is Tua Tagovailoa and the Dolphins offense a concern, being that they lost to Daniel Jones, Danny Dimes?
Hmm. I mean, is it really a concern? That's the. I mean, like I said, week one. Not completely sure if they're over screwed, but let's see. Just give it a couple weeks, and you know,
Yeah.
see what could possibly happen.
And then Daniel Jones did good. Didn't turn the ball over. Had 272 yards and a touchdown. And do you think Aaron or Daniel Jones is the answer in Indianapolis over Anthony Richardson?
I mean, Daniel Jones, did okay-ish when he was part of the Giants, really. Is that true? He was part of the Giants?
Yeah.
He did okay during the Giants. He can produce well, not really turn the ball over that much, but I would say, I mean, okay, he could be a producer in Indianapolis. I would say he can produce a couple of good games out there.
Yeah.
Probably throw a little bit of interceptions.
And then we have the Raiders beating the Patriots. And I just forgot what I was about to say. Do you think that the Patriots are will at least make the playoffs this season with a new head coach in Brian or Mike Vrabel?
I mean, I mean, I mean, decent job by Drake May. With 287 yards, with 30 out of 46 things. I mean, despite what I saw from the Patriots having nearly, at least at least like 80 ones. I mean,
Yeah,
I could see them do a pretty decent job with what's going on. You know, with yards per game and all that stuff. If, to be honest with you, if he could step it up, kind of, because like I said, they lost this game at least 20-13. I would say if he could raise it up, I could see them go far,
yeah.
especially with their rival games going on.
And then we have the Washington Commanders over the New York Giants. And Coach Brian Dable of the New York Giants said that the loss was not on Russell Wilson. What are your thoughts on that?
Mm. I mean, to be honest with you, Russell Wilson in the case looked, decent in his rushing, going 44 yards with 8
Yeah,
carries. Did terrible when the passing yards were added up. 168 yards.
yeah,
That's not usually him. That's not usually the type of Russell Wilson that we get from at least 200 yards per game usually.
yeah,
I think if you look at the receiving yards, averaging around that, I would say in the worst case scenario, I think Russell Wilson, uh, I think he could be to blame for this
yeah.
loss tonight, sadly.
And then let's move on to the now Micah Parsons Packers over the Detroit Lions. Micah Parsons made his presence known with a sack on Jared Goff, and then you could just feel that he was like taking over the game. And what are your concerns about this now Lions offense without their offensive coordinator Ben Johnson, who's now the head coach of the Bears?
I mean, I mean, this is like a whole different team, like nearly a new whole different type of style that the Lions played and all that stuff. I mean, last year did phenomenal, losing in the playoffs at least first round X's like the Steelers, but just with a whole different offense. I mean, I wouldn't say they would do better, but
Yeah,
just I mean, they could do something with it. They could do something. Just hope that you know this new offensive coordinator can help with what their case
yeah.
scenario is.
And then you have the Lions, who obviously struggled really. I saw a stat where they're 3-14 without Ben Johnson in the Dan Campbell era. So that might be a concern there.
Yeah, which is an actually insane stat right there.
And then now you have the Denver Broncos beating the Tennessee Titans 20-12. And in my opinion, Tennessee's if Cam Ward stays in Tennessee, his career is going to be ruined. Couldn't do anything with that against that Broncos defense. And what are your thoughts on that?
I'm sorry, what?
What are your thoughts on Cam Ward, like in his first game in the NFL?
I'm Cameron Warren.
Yeah.
I mean, despite, I'm seeing first overall picks, like the first quarterbacks outwards, they do like worse near their first game of the season. So it was expected of him to not do his best because he got thrown into the scene that quickly, being starter of a team that really needs someone to can lead the team and all that stuff. So I'm
Yeah.
I'm just I'm just gonna say, I mean, despite Cameron Warren being the first overall pick in this year's draft, going into something that quickly,
Yeah.
it's just pretty decent start, 112 yards. Just, give the man some time. Find a
Yeah.
veteran or something to help him learn about this team and all that stuff.
Yeah. All right, then we have the Cardinals beating the New Orleans Saints 20-13, which have a day Kyler Murray. And what are your thoughts on Kyler Murray's performance?
Kyler Murray.
Yes.
Kyler Murray didn't a really. Kyler Murray did a very fantastic job. I just wanted to double check exactly how good he did. Not bad.
21 for 29, 163 yards passing and 2 touchdowns. With one of them, one of those passing touchdowns going to Marvin Harrison. And Marvin, is it a breakout year or bust for Marvin Harrison, do you think?
Well, like I said, first year for Marvin Kelly.
That's his second year.
Second year, okay, yeah, my bad. Well, like I said, second year for Harrison Jr. I could tell he's doing very productive. He's not like Justin Jefferson productive. Not having like nearly 100 yards and all that stuff. But if he can get more targets, if he can get more productions by Kyler Murray, having this feeling of a situation like that, I think something can happen. However, I do want to talk about the Saints quarterback, despite having missed a couple of years as it, Spencer Rattler. Not Glazium, he's actually doing pretty good, at least having 214 yards. But the passing,
27 for 40. I would have in my opinion, I would have started Tyler Shaw, they drafted this year. In my opinion. They had more total yards than the Cardinals, but they just couldn't get it done, really.
I would agree. But like I said, with, Cam Ward, Cam Ward, I think having a backup and all that stuff to ensure that, what the team is doing. But I could see what you mean.
Yeah. And then we have the the Tampa Bay Buccaneers winning against the Atlanta Falcons 23-20 with Baker Mayfield having a day. I know the stats weren't there, 17 of 32, but he threw for 3 touchdowns and led the team in rushing yards. What are your thoughts on and the rookie, Emeka Buka, had 2 of those 3 touchdowns. What are your thoughts on Emeka Ibuka's performance?
I mean, Buka, I'm not sure how to do that name. I mean, Kabuka was Pokugoing.
Yeah.
I mean, having four receiving with 67, that's a total nearly of like 20 plus yard receptions having mixed up.
Yeah.
This dude's gonna have a good season. I mean,
Yeah.
this dude may have a, not saying this may have a good season. I mean, respectfully,
Yes.
if he's the
And
number one receiver for it.
I mean, they didn't have Chris Godwin, but he had a great. I'm glad to see what he can do throughout his rookie season, even in the next year if he picks it up.
Yeah, we're usually talking about quarterbacks starting, like first year quarterbacks starting with,
Yeah.
how about Kirk Cousins being benched and having Michael Penix Jr. having that? I mean, really decent start. Probably better
This
to
is
Cam Ward.
yeah. He's Cam Ward is better than Kirk Cousins, no doubt about it. I mean,
As we see right now, despite not having to win, they put in a really close game. And you see what I mean by
yeah,
like close games? We had like a total of a couple really good like close games,
yeah,
including the Steelers, Kansas City, Eagles. I think this season is going to be a very close battle for the Super Bowl. That's what
yeah.
I'm trying to, say.
And then we have the 49ers beating the Seahawks 17-13 with Brock Purdy throwing for 277 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. Do you think Brock Purdy can like have a better game than he had this against the Seahawks?
I think he can. You know, having you're gonna have bad games from Brock Purdy or Brock or any star player for
Yeah,
any team. You're gonna have bad games. This is one of his bad games.
yeah,
He's not like this. He doesn't throw interceptions that much, but just he's gonna get better. He's gonna definitely show that he's not like the last pick. He's not like the last pick in the you know
yeah,
couple years back. He get to be really decent sometimes, especially with that huge contract that he signed a while back.
yeah. And then you have the LA Rams beating the Houston Texans 14-9 with Matt Stafford who missed mostly all of training camp with a back injury. And then do you think CJ Stroud and the Texans can bounce back from this and win the AFC
I
South?
I mean, to be clear, the Texans now have as their running back Nick Chubb as their uh their running back for the season. And looking at it
Yeah,
kind of, they got a whole different competition away. Like, we're gonna be talking about next. We're gonna talk about next week's things. They're versing a divisional. They're versing a divisional one of the divisional rivals or something like that. The Buccaneers coming up,
wait, hold on.
and I'm not even sure if
Who?
they're divisional rivals.
No, they're not. That but the Texans are in the AFC South. The Buccaneers are in the NFC South.
Okay, then I was mixing things up. Whoops, my mistake. What's my mistake? Don't quote me back again, or just
Yeah.
editor. I know what you're gonna do. Don't you do it. Anyways, but anyways, the Texans, if they're gonna be like this all year, then I would say maybe, but I'm not certain of it. Say in second place for them.
What'd you say?
I would say I would say that they might be like second place
Yeah.
material, not winning it.
I agree. I mean, they CJ tried out a little bit of a sophomore slump last season, and I don't think that they can. Obviously, they're probably gonna win the division, being that how like terrible the AFC South is.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's only
And
week
let's put that
one.
in.
That's the thing, though.
Yeah,
It's only week one.
and also he is a cover of something. He's also the cover athlete for the game NFL Pro era, so that might be the case scenario. A curse awaits.
Then you have the Jacksonville Jaguars beating the Carolina Panthers 26-10. Bryce Young, it was a bad game from him. 18-35, 150, a buck 54 in the air, a touchdown and 2 picks. Turnovers are costly. I mean, CJ or Trevor Lawrence also threw an interception. He went 19 for 31, one buck 78 through the air and a touchdown. But mostly it was basically all field goals.
Yeah,
And
I mean,
it was
I
just
mean,
the Jaguars were basically the better team.
yeah, I mean, they have one of the longer field goal hitters in the league.
Cam Little. He went that 70-yard
Yeah, Cam.
field goal in the preseason, which didn't count against the Steelers.
Yeah, yeah, which, you know, like I said, amazing kicker in the preseason.
Yeah.
Now I think he's definitely going to be a productive kicker in it this year. Not better than Chris Browser will.
Yeah.
But, but also, by the way, what a trick play by Brian Thompson Jr.
I know. That was a great trick
By the
play.
way, I
Like,
saw a clip on that on the NFL channel and all that stuff.
yeah.
They're playing like it's banana ball.
I know.
They're playing like it's banana ball out there.
Moving on, we have the Browns losing by a kick to the Cincinnati Bengals. The Browns had this game in the bag, but they just missed a kick. I mean, Joe Flacco had an alright game. Threw 2 picks. You can't really throw interceptions in a divisional game. That might hurt you if like there's a tiebreaker or something.
I mean, yeah. I
What are
mean,
your thoughts on this game?
yeah. I mean, I agree. You know, Joe Flacco, 290 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. A really okay game for him. It's just that really they just made uh they just really made a horrible kick.
Yeah.
Like just absolutely just what I mean, what can I say?
Yeah. And then let's move on to the Sunday Nighter. What a game. 44 or 40
100%.
41 to 40 Buffalo. And what a comeback by Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills. Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson both had a great day. Josh Allen
Decently.
Josh Allen throwing for 33
Sorry.
46, 394 through the air, 2 tutties. And Lamar Jackson 14 and 19, 209 through the air and 2 touchdowns. Which Lamar Jackson pushed a fan after the amazing catch by DeAndre Hopkins for the touchdown. And do you think the NFL should do something about Lamar Jackson pushing a fan?
I mean, yeah. I mean, to be honest with you, it's fine. Look, it's not fine if, let's say, for example, that person got hurt. It's not fine if someone pushes a fan or anything. It's not good on the NFL's hand that it should leave this unpunished. Like I understand how Lamar Jackson, he's frustrated. I mean he was frustrated that first of all they had an amazing catch on that behalf. It's just
And
plus with the 209
yeah.
and all that.
Lamar Jackson said in a press conference about the situation. He slapped me and he was talking. So I just forgot where I was for a little bit. Or do you think that the Bills should set an example and not allow that fan to go to a game?
I mean, first of all, okay, so about me with the situation now, since you told me that, I would say not lie him in, because usually it's sportsmanship. If you have fans over there talking crap about probably your best star,
Yeah.
like Lamar Jackson. If you're talking about Lamar Jackson, doing crap, or Derrick Henry, or anyone that's there, it's not sportsmanship. It's like, high school football. If you sorry, if you had sportsmanship, or like college, high school, it doesn't matter exactly if you they're gonna be objective anyways.
And what a game by Derrick Henry, besides the fumble that he had that cost the Ravens the game. Buffalo was down 15 in the final 5 minutes of the game. And turnovers are costly, in my opinion, especially in a game where you could possibly have a tiebreaker between the two teams in the AFC. Like, it's competitive because Ravens usually want people to go to them for the tiebreaker. They do great at home. But if they're in a tiebreaker with Buffalo, they're going to have to possibly go to Buffalo.
Indeed.
All right.
But like I said, amazing.
Yeah. Go ahead.
But like I said, amazing job with like I said, amazing job again, with Josh Allen, the MVP from last year. Like I said, now leading the NFL with more yards, and then Derrick Henry also leading league with rushing yards. These two teams are going to have really productive seasons, no matter what the season goes. Bravo for these teams to having such an amazing game.
Yeah.
But really, really heated game after that. So.
All right, let's move into our week 2 predictions.
Ooh.
So, first game I have on tap is the Commanders and Packers. Who do you think's winning that?
Commanders versus Packers. Commanders going off a strong week 1 win against the Giants, and the Packers also coming strong with a week 1 against the Lions. With defense, on the other hand, for the Packers, I'm thinking the Packers are going to take this one.
Oh, okay. I'm going Washington because the fact that Deebo Samuel looked like he was back on the 49ers. They used him with like the jet sweeps and within the run game. I don't know. I could be eating my words here, but I just think that the Washington Commanders can figure out Micah Parsons, being that they were in the same division before Micah Parsons got traded to the Commanders.
Okay.
Then we have
predictions there.
Then we have the Seattle Seahawks against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Who do you think's winning that game? No bias. No bias involved.
I'm not okay. Trust me, I'm not going biased. I'm saying it with my own heart. Seahawks having a close game against the 49ers, having Sam Darnold as their starting quarterback, but having Jackson Smith and Jaya here. Really decent. Really decent. However, not glazing here. This is my opinion, which you could see Devin's head shaking. Yes, know that. Aaron Rodgers having 244 yards. Know that with DK Metcalf. I'm gonna have to go with the Steelers on this one.
Me as well. This is DK Metcalf revenge game, basically. And
basically.
Did I tell you I bought a Jalen Ramsey jersey? I have Aaron Rodgers,
No, I did not.
DK Metcalf, and then a Jalen Ramsey. I'm thinking about adding more to my collection at some point.
Because I remember when you went to the Pirates game.
I bought an Aaron Rodgers jersey.
You bought an Aaron Rodgers jersey for $90.
Then our next game on tap is the New York Giants against the Dallas Cowboys. I'm going to go first here. I'm going to say that the Dallas Cowboys are going to bounce back against the Giants. The Cowboys have had the Giants numbers for years now, and I don't think it's going to be any different. I don't think a quarterback like Russell Wilson, James Winston, or Jackson Dart can beat the Cowboys. Even without Micah Parsons.
Yeah, I would agree here. The Cowboys definitely had their numbers every single year. Usually, definitely having a solid game against the Eagles.
Yeah.
Just Cowboys are definitely gonna try to get the win here.
So you're going Dallas, right?
Yeah.
All right. Now we have the Rams against the Titans. I'm gonna go Rams here. I think that Cam Ward has still much to prove. It's his rookie year, and I think that Rams defense is gonna give him a hard time. And then I think the offense with Puka Nacua, Devontae Adams, you have Kyron Williams, you have Matthew Stafford. They have a nice offense, and I'm going to go Rams here.
I would agree the same thing. The Rams definitely had like I said, week 1, definitely, Puka had 130 with 10 receiving, Matthew Stafford having 204 yards, having that, with also, rushing yards. I'm thinking the Rams here would take the win against the Titans.
Yeah.
Cam Ward is not going to be as solid as usual. He's still got much to prove.
All right, the next game we have on tap is the Bills against the Jets. What is your pick?
Do we really have to pick a winner for this one? Because we
Yes.
already know what's gonna happen. The Bills have MVP Josh Allen. You're probably gonna, see, Justin Fields. He's gonna have a pretty decent game. However, despite all that, despite all the things, I'm thinking the Bills might have it in the bag here against the Jets.
I have the Bills winning. I mean, I don't think that the Jets are going to be able to stop Josh Allen at
The
all.
whole offense.
Yeah. And the next game on tap is the Dolphins and Patriots. What are you going with here? Who are you going with?
All right then. So Dolphins. I mean, no, I did. That didn't. That's not my prediction. The Dolphins had a lost cause against the Colts. I mean, 33-8, like I said, and then I mean, with two and all that stuff. I mean, I don't think that they're going to.
Yeah.
However, the Patriots nearly had I mean, that time and all that stuff. And I'm not sure if this is the first the NFL rivals game that we're gonna be seeing. So we might get to see those jerseys pretty soon.
So you're
But
going New
if I have
England?
to, but if I have to choose, yeah, New England is probably the case scenario here after what Drake Myers did against the Raiders.
I'm going to disagree with that. I'm going to go Miami.
Ooh.
Basically,
Ooh.
I think Tua can have a breakout game. I'm saying I'm in a bounce back game, and I I just think that the Miami offense is too good, and I don't know. I mean, you should be able to win and not put up 8 points with Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, Devon Achane, Tyreek Hill. I mean, I just think that's a bounce back game for the whole team. I think Miami takes it in an upset.
Hmm. And like I said, is this a rivalry game or something like that? I'm not even sure
I don't
exactly.
think no.
It because like those jerseys, like I can't wait to see when they wear them out. Like
Yeah.
they're gonna look smooth.
They're gonna wear their rival jerseys week 11.
Okay, so we're still waiting on those jerseys.
So there's gonna be probably normal. Our next game is Jacksonville Jaguars against the Cincinnati Bengals. I'm gonna go first here. I'm gonna say that the Cincinnati Bengals are gonna dominate the Jacksonville Jaguars defense. The only reasons: Joe Burrow, T. Higgins, Jamar Chase. Those three I think are gonna go off. They have a really good offense. And then them signing Trey Hendrickson. Best case scenario for him.
I mean, yeah. Yeah. This is definitely going to be a big bounce back game for the Bengals. You know, see what happened against the Browns and having that field goal kick presented by the Bengals. I would say the Bengals definitely have a great chance of bounce back and defeating the Jaguars.
Our next game is the San Francisco 49ers against the Saints. I'm going to go with the San Francisco 49ers. I think that they're just a lot better than the Saints. I mean, I don't think that Spencer Rattler can beat the New Orleans, or can beat the San Francisco 49ers. That's just my opinion.
Okay, well, okay, well, especially what happened against the the Cardinals. I mean, really decent. Really decently. This is a really tough team to, especially, especially since last year trying to come back with it. So I will have to agree with you. I think that the 49ers are going to beat the Saints. Are going to beat the Saints. Uh, in a pretty close game,
Yeah.
I would say.
Next, we have the Browns and Ravens in AFC North matchup. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go for an upset here. I'm gonna say that the Cleveland Browns can beat the Baltimore Ravens. Not just I just think
Upset.
a Joe Flacco revenge game in Baltimore just sounds like the type of game I personally want to watch.
Wow. Okay.
Especially
Wow.
in September. I mean, you know, the Browns who, like we said multiple times, who almost won off a field goal, but if they would have had a kicker, they would have won that game against Cincinnati. I just think that the Joe Flacco will have some motivation to go and ball out against his former team. That's just me.
Wow, okay. I was not expecting an upset alert here from the person that, I
Yeah.
mean, you know what? Yeah, I can tell from the person that doesn't like Baltimore a lot.
It's not the fact that I don't like Baltimore. I just think that Joe Flacco is gonna ball out against his former team.
Yeah, I know for a fact. I know for a fact, but you know, the Browns and the Ravens, like divisional rivals for one of the top divisions out there that last year had over 500. I'm not sure if it was 2 years or last year. They had over 500, which in NFL history has never happened. So, in that case, I would say, I would
And
say
yeah,
it would be
yeah.
a very close game. However, I wish I would say it would be fun to see a Browns winning against the Ravens. I'm pretty much gonna be the person that says, well, I have to go with the Ravens against the Baltimore in a very close matchup.
Understandable. And um, our next matchup is the Bears and the Lions NFC North matchup. And I'm gonna go with another upset here. I'm gonna go with the Chicago Bears to beat the Detroit Lions. That offense
Are we kidding?
from the Detroit Lions just looks horrible to me, and it makes me um like worried about the offense, about the 3-14 without Ben Johnson in the Dan Campbell era. And I just think that the Bears can do it with Ben Johnson as the Bears head coach. This is a Ben Johnson revenge game. I think he's gonna get the revenge.
Okay, another upset alert in September. That's basically your second one in just in under. Actually, no, it's actually 2 for 2 right now in this case scenario. But you know what? I'm not usually with the Bears in this one, but kind of think about it, it isn't a revenge game, and I missed out on the Joe Flacco one. So you know what? Give me the Bears on this one.
Okay, let's go.
So this is probably the only time I like to help support the Bears on this one.
Yeah.
Usually having I'm not sure exactly. Like coming up on like right now we're recording this before Monday Night Football. I mean at Soldier Field against the Minnesota Vikings. I hope they do well, but you know, but if I have to see what
Yeah.
number 18 has, and this game would be very good, especially on the head coach.
So both going Bears on that one.
Yeah.
Denver.
Whoops. Sorry. Monday Night
Yeah.
Football.
The Broncos and the Colts. Give me the Broncos, and I'm going to lock this game in for my game of the week. I think Denver's defense
Ooh.
will be too much for Daniel Jones. The Broncos have really good defense, and well in top 5 in the NFL. And I think it's gonna confuse Daniel Jones.
Okay. So you're saying we got one we only get to walk one game for game of the week. Okay. I did not know that.
Yeah, my bad. I should have explained it.
So okay, yeah, you know, next episode you should have explained it a lot more bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So the Broncos and Colts, I remember you know, like last year when when they met for the very first time, it was a really close game between these two, but now since they're both, you know, have different teams, different situations and all that,
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to go. I'm definitely have to go with the Broncos here. I'm not sure if the Colts definitely. No, I'm not sure if the Colts have the motivation to, you know, against the Broncos, but let's just see, you know, what the Broncos have with, you know, the quarterback and all that.
Next, we have the Super Bowl 59 rematch. Philadelphia against Kansas City. We all remember what happened in the Super Bowl. The Eagles put belt to, you know what, on the Chiefs. And I'm going to go with the Philadelphia Eagles over the Kansas City Chiefs. I just think they just know how to
Okay.
stop Patrick Mahomes.
Okay, so you know how I, you know, feel about, you know, Philly and the Chiefs.
Yeah.
First of all, I'm going to say that this is going to be a really good matchup here. Not sure because remember, this is going to be at Kansas City. And Kansas City is one of the biggest, the largest stadium, not one of the largest, but the largest stadium that have, you know, it's gonna be like one of those college football scenes, like like EA college football. You're gonna see that bar go way high on that stuff, just going shaking the bar. But if you know exactly, exactly, I'm gonna say the Eagles. Usually I'm with the Chiefs on this one,
Oh.
but especially what happened with all their wide
Wow.
receivers. I'm gonna have to go with the Philly on this one. Philly definitely has a solid team, especially Jalen Hurts.
Is that
You thought I was gonna go with the
yeah.
Chiefs.
I thought you were gonna go with the Chiefs. I wrote down Kansas City for you.
Yeah. Usually I'm big on Kansas City. However, Philly definitely had Philly right here just showed balled. He balled out. They're gonna ball out against the eventually winners of that.
Yeah.
So
Next up, we have the Carolina Panthers against the Arizona Cardinals. I'm gonna go with the Cardinals here. I mean, they balled out last week in New Orleans. I think they can do it again against the Panthers.
I would say the same thing. The Cardinals are definitely having a momentum to move on forward. I think they're going to start out 2-0 for the season with, exactly what happened uh with their quarterback Kyler Murphy and their wide receiver. So that's gonna be my
Yeah.
pick for Panthers. Just is
Then we have the Vikings at the Falcons. I'm gonna go with the Vikings here. I think
ooh,
that
what's
the Vikings can beat the Falcons.
okay? I mean, yeah. I mean, yeah. Sorry. I mean, this is right here, Sunday night football here for all of you NFL specialists out there. Just seeing how much, and like I said, Vikings and Bears, we won't know about that until afterwards. But I would say the Falcons. I would say the Falcons can definitely keep the momentum up as they
So you're going
again.
Falcons?
Yeah, I would say the Falcons.
Alright. Now on to Monday Night Football, there's two matchups. We got the Bucks and the Houston Texans. What is your prediction?
The Buccaneers and the Texans. Okay, so the Buccaneers definitely had a really good matchup against the Falcons, and a really close matchup. You saw, you like I said, you saw, you know, a couple
Yeah.
things. Baker Mayfield having a amazing team, an amazing team, or amazing, sorry, not amazing team, amazing, amazing stats when they played at least a rookie against a rookie quarterback. You had someone that can carry the ball at least 20 yards, or 10 yards, or 20 yards per
Yeah.
uh, person against a team that basically did not have any stars exactly that played defense. The only person that nearly got a sack was Devon Diablo from the Falcons that nearly got a sack on him. However, however, the however the Texans, especially with what happened against the LA, which nearly didn't have, I believe, anyone except for actually three people got a sack. I think
Yeah.
this will be my game of the week. This is definitely going to be a game of the week ones, and it's going to be a really close one. However, in the best case scenario, I have to go with Texans here. Bounce back game to definitely show that this is not a one man show. This is a
Yeah.
whole team show.
Wow. Alright, in the final game of week 2, we got the Chargers and the Raiders.
Oh,
I'm
wait,
gonna
I
go.
forgot your pick. You forgot your pick against the Buccaneers and Texans.
Oh. Okay. I'm gonna go with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers here. I just
Ooh,
think that offense can keep rolling, and that defense is really good in my opinion. I believe in Baker Mayfield, which is weird for me saying this because he is they play for the Cleveland Browns, and I always hated Baker Mayfield, but we don't get into that. And he's just been
yeah,
balling
definitely.
since Tom Brady has left.
Yeah, I have respect for Baker Mayfield. I mean, especially when what happened with the Panthers and what happened with the Panthers and with the Rams, the headbutt thing. Yeah, how he goes
Yeah.
headbutts every time he does a legit play without his helmet.
All right, and our final game is the Chargers against the Raiders. I'm gonna go with the Raiders here in an upset. My upset, and I think Geno Smith and Pete Carroll can do some damage. I mean, will I get? I think I get them far. No. There's a very tough AFC West with Kansas City, Denver. Then you got your division rival, the Chargers, who beat Kansas City. And I think the Raiders can win.
I mean, you know, Raiders defeated, a Drake Meyer led offense with Geno Smith, which, to be fair, we did not bring this up when we were talking about the week 1 review. Geno Smith went off. He went off with 362 yards.
Yep. Which is why I just think that Geno Smith and Pete Carroll can do some lethal things together.
I agree. I was actually going to pick the Chargers because of how it is. However, I'm thinking the upset could happen here. Give me an upset alert and give me the Raiders. Because this is definitely a revenge game back 2 years ago when they could have had a tie and they went on to the and they went off and they could have went off to the playoffs. Both of them, however, the Los Angeles Chargers had something else planned for them. So
yeah. So throughout the week 2 games, we agreed on 8 games. We agreed on the Pittsburgh Seattle game, which is a DK Metcalf revenge game. We agreed on the Cowboys beating the Giants. We agreed on the Rams beating the Titans. The Buffalo Bills beating the Tennessee Titans. The Bengals beating the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Broncos beating the Colts. The Eagles beating the Chiefs. And then the Raiders beating the Chargers. Stay tuned for next episode where we'll recap week 2 and then start to preview week 3 of the NFL. This has been episode 2 of the I Zombie podcast. Thank you to my co-host right here, TGM Gabe, for joining me. And
thank you for having me again.
We'll see you next week.